Hey guys, this is Dean with the Two Party Podcast, and I am on here with Carol Rumpa. Is that how it's pronounced?
Yeah, it is. Hey, man.
Man,
How
I
you
did
doing?
good. I've been messing up names a lot lately. So
It's
Carol
fine. It's fine.
Rumpa, and
Yeah,
so
yeah,
this is a young, talented. It's very interesting because I kind of found him through a couple different sites and on SoundCloud, and then he reached out to me to be on the show. And so I started kind of looking. This was probably about 3 weeks or four, maybe even a month ago, close
yeah,
to
yeah,
it.
yeah.
And I started kind of looking at some of his music and looking at the different tracks that he's got out. And then I started kind of investigating a little further into his YouTube. And there's a couple. I encourage you guys to go check out his YouTube. There's a couple things on his YouTube where he actually kind of shows his process of making songs and producing, and I thought that was really interesting. So um, I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to Carol. Carol, welcome to the show. I want you to kind of tell the audience about who you are, where you come from, a little bit about how you got into music and how long you've been doing music. That's what we like to do our first time having somebody on the show. So Carol, go ahead. You got the platform.
All right, thanks, man. Hi, guys. My name is Carol Rumpa. Currently 15 years old, and I am an Indonesian singer-songwriter producer that lives in Malaysia. I've been living in Malaysia for half of my life now, and ever since I came here, I started to get into music a lot. And I think I was 9 years old when I actually started getting into classes uh, for for drums, because that what introduces me to music. And then from drums I moved on to a couple more instruments like guitar, bass, piano, melodica, and a few more stuff during the age of 12 to 13. Then after that, I started getting into producing when I was 14. Uh, and then I was like, oh, I think this could be something to do in the future. So I started releasing my first single on October 2020, where I think I released Don't Stand a Chance, which when I was 15. And I just released my latest single called Eyes in December, last December. Yeah.
Very cool. So the first song you were talking about would be "Don't Stand a Chance."
Yeah.
Okay, and I've watched that. That's a really good song.
Thanks,
Um,
man. Yeah.
what I find interesting is, you're very young, but you're super talented on instruments. And again, I encourage the audience to kind of check out your YouTube because your YouTube kind of profiles a little more about, you get to actually see you in the home studio. We get to see you play guitar. We get to see you kind of playing with the instruments and the software. And I think it's really cool for people to experience that. So I encourage our audience to really check out that YouTube page of Carol's. So what's it first? Let's start with the first song, "Don't Stand a Chance." What inspired you to write that song?
What inspired me was like TV shows, because I watched like quite a lot of TV shows last time. And I think like normal TV shows is like heartbreak and stuff. So like, oh, I think this could be something. So I wrote it based on that, and also based on my personal experience, which I'm not very good at love. So I just write according to it, like according honest feelings, honestly,
Yeah.
and to the lyrics. And yeah, it just happens.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're still young, so to learn
Yeah, yeah,
about
yeah.
love, to learn
It's
about
still,
love
yeah,
at
there's
it,
there's still a lot of
you're
stuff to
just
do.
starting off,
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, I mean, I can look back at my life and it's been a roller coaster, but at the end of the day, it's like, one of those things that is the emotions you feel in love and
Mm.
the ups and the downs in relationships. And at your age, you're just starting off getting those relationships going, but um, that's very cool. So really it's just started off with kind of an emotional, almost a love type of
Yeah,
feeling. And you
yeah,
just kind of tried to put it down into music.
yeah. So like I just speak it with through music. I just let it out, because I think music is one of like the best language to communicate. So I use that platform to kind of speak for myself. Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. I would 100% agree. I think there's one common ground we find in the world. I mean, the world's, I don't know how it is in your country so much right now, but I
Mm-hmm.
know around the world, every country's kind of going through its own thing with this pandemic. But I know the one thing
True.
that I've always said is that there's two things about music. One, it is the best expression for people. You can express every emotion through music. And two, music is the one thing in the world that will unite everybody. Whenever there's
Yeah,
music
yeah.
playing, I've never really met, honestly, I don't think I've ever met anyone that was like, turn off the music, that sucks. Like I've never
Yeah,
met anyone
exactly,
that
right?
just,
Yeah,
I've never
yeah,
met
yeah.
anyone that hates music. I've always, they may want to hear it quiet or they just have moments they want to hear it, but I've never met anyone that just doesn't like music. So music's just kind of a universal language of communication for everybody, and it unites people. Whenever it seems like whenever there's music on, we don't go to parties and there's no music usually. If you go to a
Yeah,
party,
yeah,
there's
yeah, true,
usually
true,
somebody's
true.
like, hey, turn the music up. It's kind of one of those things where music just unites people. It brings out the social, kind of how we're our social nature as human beings. And it's just very interesting how music can just bring people together. Tell me about Eyes. What was your inspiration on the new single Eyes?
Actually, fun fact, I wrote Eyes before Don't Stand a Chance, but I released Don't Stand a Chance first because I was like, I thought that Don't Stand a Chance has a higher impact if I release that song first. But anyways, Eyes is another love song. It's about like expressing. This one is based on people's personal stories, like how they, like normal stuff, normal love stuff, how they see people, the person they love, and how they're
Mm-hmm.
expressing it, how they feel, why do they love them, and I put it all into this one song. Then but with Don't like Ice, right? um I made it into a ballet song, instead of like a happy a pop song, like upbeat, because Don't Stand a Chance is already upbeat, and I wanted to try something new because I'm not a pop ballet artist, but I wanted to like show that people that, oh, I can do this as well. So yeah, I think Ice is based on that.
Kind of a transition for you into two different
Yeah,
styles, basically.
true. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's very cool. Is there now? What is some other stuff you're working on, and what genre are you trying to stay within?
I'm trying to stay within around R&B, R&B
Yeah.
alternative,
Mm-hmm.
but towards pop as well.
Mm-hmm.
But currently I am working on something that I'll release pretty soon, I guess, during the summer.
Mm-hmm.
um yeah, I think I just try to stay into R&B and like branch off a bit from there.
Yeah. So are you hoping to compile all these recent releases with some of your future stuff? Are you hoping to release those into one album, maybe a CD or online? I know like right now online download music is more popular than having a hard
uh
copy. Is that what you're trying to work toward? Is getting everything where you can just kind of get it downloadable?
Yeah, yeah, of course. Like, especially during this pandemic, right? People
Mm-hmm.
prefer staying at home because they want to stay safe. They don't get like album copies, CDs. They just
Mm-hmm.
want to stream, stream it online. And yeah, that's basically it. But for future releases, I think these two singles will just stay as a single. But I will release an EP. I will release an album somewhere in the future. But I think EP will be the most realistic thing to release for now. Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree. So speaking of pandemic, real quick, let's touch on that. Tell us a little
Yeah.
bit. Me and you talked before the show about what's going on there. Tell us a little bit about what's going on there with you guys.
So basically, now we are in lockdown again. It's currently the third wave, according to the government. Yeah, I think it's pretty hard. It's on the rise again. It's higher than before, and people are having their own difficult times. But we're just trying to overcome it together. Um, yeah, by following some rules that the government has made, and try to stay with it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. Now, is there a lot of people sick there, or have you guys experienced a lot of sick people, or not? Not so much. Just more or less, just being precautionate.
That there is a lot, quite a number of cases, positive
Yeah.
cases, in Malaysia. Yeah, I think people, like with that, people are just trying to be more aware of their surroundings, with, because like they say that you can't trust any, not as in trust, like you can't go near anyone because like who knows, they might have the virus or
Right.
whatnot. So just trying to stay aware of your
So
surroundings
just
basically.
kind of being cautious so that you don't
Yeah,
catch it is
yeah,
really the big thing. So that you
yeah.
don't catch it, and then also so you're not spreading it to others
Yeah,
in your
exactly.
family. Yeah, that makes sense.
Mm.
So how I mean how have you guys in the first wave, second wave, third wave? I mean, how has it progressed? I mean, was it really serious to begin with, and then now it's gotten a lot worse, or is it kind of been consistent all the way through?
At first it was quite not like how do I say this? If we see it now, it wasn't as serious, but when we see it last time, it was quite serious. As in,
Right.
like, the cases were just starting to rise, and people were like, then the government told us to lock down, but it wasn't as much as cases as right now. I think
Yeah.
now it's worse compared to last time. It wasn't quite consistent.
So what are some things what are some things that in Malaysia? Because again, I've never been to Malaysia. I've
Mm.
seen pictures. I've watched videos of Malaysia. It's a beautiful place. What are some things
Uh,
that you guys do there for fun at your age?
uh, Before all this pandemic, all this
Yeah, but
COVID,
obviously before the
yeah,
pandemic for sure, because you're not having much
yeah,
fun right now.
yeah. uh, we just go play sports, But
Yeah,
in because I'm actually not in Malaysian, I'm Indonesian.
yeah,
I spend most of my time in Malaysia, but childhood over in Indonesia.
mhm,
But I don't really experience playing with my friends outside like much because I don't really have much neighbors,
right.
But yeah, during my free time in Malaysia, I just basically go for recreational stuff like going for sport, some sports, exercise, and yeah, that's basically it. And I just call my
What's
friends.
what's the
Yeah.
most popular sports there?
Um, I would say either badminton,
Hmm.
or football or basketball. Either those
Yeah.
two.
Okay, very cool. Very cool. Yeah, and it's funny you just touched on a point about kind of working out and staying healthy that way. That's one of the
Mm.
things like for me and I know a lot of my friends here. I work out. I just got out of the gym just now. But when I came into the
Right.
studio, I was just working out, hitting weights. It's one of those things like I think it's the most important thing, especially in the middle of this pandemic. It's the most important thing that we take really good care of ourselves. We eat
True. True.
right. There's a lot of people that they drink, they smoke, they do silly things, and in the middle of a pandemic when your immune system's already kind of fighting stuff, I think it's
Uh,
really important that we exercise, sweat out anything we can sweat out, but at the same time, just focus on our diet, taking good care of ourselves, surrounding ourselves with good people that are just uplifting. Because I think that's important. Not just the physical health, but also just keeping people around you, and keeping yourself very positive. Because for me, I find mental, spiritual, and physical health all balanced out is
yeah.
good.
Yeah. True.
It's one of those things like if I'm physically feeling good and I'm mentally feeling good and then I'm spiritually strong, I think at the end of the day that really makes us even better to fight through this pandemic because we're healthy,
Yeah.
we're happy, we're surrounded by people we love. And so I think it's real important we take care of ourselves right now. I think it's real important
True.
we,
True.
we, we trust in fitness and just really eating right. Let's go ahead and I'm going to try to do a little screen share here. And I've done a few of these, and sometimes I do good, sometimes I don't. But I'm going to try to. I'm just going to screen share off my page here.
All right. Sure. Sure.
I'm going to close out a few tabs here, and then I am on SoundCloud, so I'm going to play it through SoundCloud. I think is the best option, and
Yeah. Sure.
I'm going to go ahead and play it through there. So give me 1 second. Let me see if I can pull this up. So I will share. You should be able to see it as well. And it looks like I already was playing here. So I'm going to try to go back, see if it'll play from the beginning. There we, no, no.
I'll try to. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to
Okay.
get it to go back. There we go.
All right. Okay.
So this is, for everybody in the audience, this is the song Eyes.
Is it working?
Yep. Can you hear it?
No, I can't.
I know it's recording because I can hear it in my headphones.
All right. It's fine then. Sorry, give me 1 second, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. So that is, I think it's just playing. There we go. It was starting to play the next track.
Uh,
So again, for the audience, that was Eyes. And I don't think, Carol, you couldn't hear it on your end.
yeah, it's fine, it's fine.
Okay. Well, we just played the whole track through. So again, amazing talent.
Thank you, man.
Do you
Thank you.
use a lot of software? I mean, because I'm assuming that this is all you.
Yeah, it
Lyrics,
is. It
the
is.
voice, the voiceover, everything. You produced all of this stuff yourself, all with your voice and your talent.
Yeah, it is actually. I don't have a manager. I don't have a producer. I have a mixer. I just did it all myself. I use everything that I have right now and use it to the maximum potential.
So
And
this is
just
all
produce
your
it.
instruments and you playing, correct?
Yeah, it is.
That's amazing. So
Thank you,
again,
man.
I encourage the audience to check him out on SoundCloud, check him out on YouTube, but you can find him on other social media platforms as well. But that song is just really good, and I'm reading on here as we were doing the screen share. I was kind of reading on here where the song is inspired by so many different aspects of love. Is about looking at someone like you never did before, but
Hmm.
at the same time, you can't be with that special someone. It's very interesting, and you can feel the emotion that you put into it. You can tell by the way you sing and the way you're feeling. You could just definitely relate to this song. Just really talented. I'm thoroughly impressed that you're here at your age and you're at this level,
Thank you so
because
much, man. I appreciate it. Yeah.
I've had and I'm not going to knock any of my past guests and or future guests, but I've had a few people come on that were younger, and they just trying to come up, and they put some music out there, and it's sometimes you're like this, like, oh no, what is this? And there's sometimes like we just can't, some people just can't produce a track that's just good enough to even put out, and even
Hmm.
even when they're doing it on their own, or let alone if they're just trying to get us to promote it. And like I said, when I initially found you, and we were going back and forth kind of email messaging, and then I found you and started really looking. I mean, your talent at your age is just amazing. I mean, I can't reiterate to you how talented you really are.
Thank you so much.
And I encourage you in the future, obviously just keep doing what you're doing. You're going to continue
Thanks,
to grow.
yeah.
You're going to continue to progress. I can't see you not getting to a point where you're just professionally on your own doing your thing. Because just with the two singles that I've seen, and just some of the talent you show, and some of the YouTube videos where you're showing how you do something, how you can play an instrument so quick and witty. I mean, those are the things that I see potential. And so I think it's really important that you just keep doing what you're doing, man.
Yeah, thank you, man. Yeah, I
I
appreciate
think
that.
it's important that you bring a message that there's two things, well, several things I get out of it. One is that at any age you can take a talent and make yourself known. And two, I think that it's important that we encourage other people to utilize their talents and never give up. Set a goal, whatever that goal may be, you can achieve it at any age. And I think nowadays we live in a society where with technology and the internet and everything we have, it's easier for you to be able to self-promote yourself. And I think that the other thing I get out of it is that, no matter where, what country you're in or where you're at, music as a whole it can just be used to reach out and unite with other people in other countries. You can help lift up and encourage other people with their talents. So I hope in the future to have you back on the show when you get some more singles out. I hope to have you back where we can. I'm looking forward to in the future who you get to a level where you're working with other artists.
Yeah, I hope so too, man. Yeah, I want to be back on your show. I think it's like an amazing opportunity to be on your show. Yeah,
For sure.
I hope to be back here.
Yeah, for sure. What we typically do is we'll typically have someone on the show so the audience can get to know them, and obviously they've got to hear your music. They'll go check out your music and stuff, and so we'll have an opportunity in the future to down the line to have you come back again, maybe with a next release in the summer, or maybe something else comes up. You can reach out to us and we can get you back on the show. But I really appreciate having you on here. I really appreciate you giving us an opportunity to share your music with the audience and with the world, because we are heard globally. So
thank you, man. Thank you so much. Yeah.
No problem. And keep up the hard work. And one of the things I wanted to ask you about before we go, what is your goals? Like, what is, again, what is in the future? What is it that you're shooting for? What is your target goal in your life that you want to see? I know it's kind of at your age, you're young, but what is right now? What is your main goal to reach?
Right now, I just want to finish my studies until university and to college. And I think I'll really want to, if it's possible, if God let us, that I really want to do music in the future, as in professionally with a record label, if possible. And basically just keep moving on with everything I'm doing and not stopping.
That's awesome.
Turning back. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Well, hey, man, I can't express to you more how talented you are again. And I really hope that you get the next single going, and I will continue to promote as well as continue to invite you back in the future when you get your next single out.
Thank you so much, man. Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you for having me on your show. Yeah.
No problem. Tell the audience real quick before we go, tell them anywhere they can find you, social media, anywhere where you want them to find you, website, anything.
All right. So my Instagram is, you can find me on my Instagram, which is at Carol_Rumpa, and Spotify Carol Rumpa. Same goes to any major platforms where you can listen to my song. And my YouTube as well, if you want to check it out, Carol Rumpa.
Excellent. Carol, I appreciate having you on here. We will have you back on in the future, and you let us know if you need anything. All right. You stay safe. I know with the pandemic, it's kind of crazy. I keep touching base, and I try to reach out to my guests and check on them frequently just to make sure they're safe. So I hope you and your family stay safe, and we all get through this together.
Thank you so much, man. I hope you're safe as well.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a great day.
You too. Goodbye.
So there we are.